Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to some EVE Online, and at the moment, as you can obviously tell, I am doing a little bit of exploration. I am doing so in the auto jackdaw. This is fast becoming one of my favorite exploration ships, especially when, like right now, I have lower energy to still do more. So I just found a 3 out of 10 and I did that one. Not bad. Succubus Blueprint. That's a nice payday from a 3 out of 10. And you may hear it in my voice a little bit as well. My throat is extremely dry at the moment, and I think I caught like a cold virus or something like that. So I'm definitely drained from all my energy just from work, and all I can really manage is a little bit of exploration, trying and find a nice combat site that I can do in the auto jackdaw, set my missiles on auto targeting everything, and then just, you know, hoping for some good loot, which well, it's been going pretty well, as you can see right here. But I also wanted to make a quick video for you guys and talk a little bit about a couple of things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to EVE. And the first one is actually a public service announcement that was mailed to me. Something that I suspected, but I've never come across myself. At the moment, these new forward operating bases, which, well, they're not new, but CCP has made it so that there's more of them throughout HiSec, are actually a little bit dangerous to people that, like me, like to play solo. So the story that was shared with me is that the player was mining in this Orca, and he wasn't really all too worried seeing some rats coming in the belt. He was thinking, you know, I can handle those no problem with my Orca, but all of a sudden he saw himself be scrammed, and he noticed that those Blood Raiders had a logistics ship with them as well, and it took him quite a lot of time to actually break the tank on the logistics ship and be able to get out of there, I think with like 13% shields, he said, on an Orca. So it's something to keep in mind. These rats can be dangerous, and you want to be aware of them, and you want to either have backup or make sure that that you're ready for the potential scram from those more dangerous NPCs. These are definitely not your regular rats. And where the hell am I gonna... So, oh, that's actually going to be down here. So these Blood Raiders, for instance, are definitely not your regular rats. They've got the new AI, they've got the player fits, and they work together a little bit more. They've got logistics and all of that good stuff. So I would say a tip when you start mining or when you start playing and focusing on like a single system. Let's see if I got the right one here. Yes, that's the final one that I still haven't found. You do want to at least take one look at the agency. I really think that's all you have to do, because even on suggested, I think the closest pirate stronghold will also show up. And so now here, for instance, I know that it's in Chastal, and if I would be mining in Chastal, I would be a little extra careful, keep a closer eye on what warps in on the belt. Maybe keep an eye on this scan as well. I've actually spotted some Blood Raider pirates on this scan, and just, you know that these guys are actually dangerous to solo players. They will disrupt you. They'll even chase after people. They'll definitely scram you, and they'll take your ship out if you're not ready for them. So definitely a good public service announcement, I think, and something that I'm going to try to incorporate myself, because they even attack structures. So potentially we could see like Blood Raiders trying to attack my structures. We'll see how all of that works out, but I definitely wanted to share that with you. Next to that, in EVE Online, there is still some stuff happening, because it's the CSM meeting at the moment in Iceland. I think it's like several days. I personally am really curious. Too bad that there's nothing here as to what's going to come out of that, and hopefully that will then be the start of CCP providing us with some more information about what they're actually planning to do with EVE Online in the upcoming months, especially towards FanFest. Usually if people think that they're going to keep everything under wraps until FanFest, that's not how CCP has been doing it in the last couple of years. They've actually announced their changes and things that they want to do with the game before FanFest, so that they can get dev blogs out and actually get discussion going on FanFest itself. So I'm really eagerly awaiting what their next phases are. And of course, I always also keep one eye on the EVE Online subreddit, where the discussions, I'd say definitely the botting discussion is is something that has been the most popular topic over there on the subreddit in the last couple of days and weeks. And there we did get a response from CCP Falcon that basically CCP does take botting very seriously, and that they try to catch those people. In fact, they've like banned another 1,000 accounts over the weekend or something like that. On the one hand, it's good news, right? CCP trying to reassure us that they're doing everything they can against banning. On the other hand, it also feels a little bit reactionary. Oh, they're exploding again about botting on Reddit. It's time to do another purge wave. Yeah, that the botting problem, it's a problem not just in EVE. I think it's a problem in every MMO and in every game. But in a sandbox economy, which is part of like the answer that CCP Falcon gave, it can really have some very bad effects on the health of the game itself. And so I do think that CCP needs to stay on the ball, do their best to fight against the bots, but also maybe try to be a little bit more open. Hell, you give us a monthly economic newsletter with lots of details and information. Just give us like a monthly banned bots or something like that. You don't have to give away all your secrets about how you're catching them and things like that, but yeah, a little bit more communication. Next up we get Upper Devil. Communication with the player base around the efforts that you guys are doing when it comes to fighting the bots. Some of our biggest worries, to be honest. I think that would be welcome. And the other topic, oh yes, Structures 2.0, I think has also been a discussion. So personally, I think we want to wait for the devblog itself, because I don't think any of the changes that CCP wants to do are set in stone. I also think that from the information that we've had already, there are potentially some good changes coming to Structures 2.0, namely that if nothing is fueled, so if it's most likely an abandoned structure or just a structure that's put down like in offensive space but with no fueled service, you're going to lose a timer. I think you're going to lose like the armor timer or something like that. I think that's going to help a lot, especially on the cleanup of the structures, but apparently I'm not exactly sure how it works, but there is going to be a big potential problem with like time zone tanking of those structures, with having the vulnerability timers be very annoying across the board. So very short window or something like that, and then if you set like all your structures on the same window, it's going to basically be impossible to get rid of, to clean up a system, which is, I think, more about the fact that we can just put as many structures in the systems as we want, and so in the Imperium space there's a lot of structures in some of those systems, but yeah, I hadn't thought about it myself. I saw someone, well, you know, maybe they should like restrict it to a maximum number or something like that, but yeah, I hadn't thought about that. The very first thing EVE Online players will do then, if they want to invade a space, is to of course set up all of their own structures to reach that cap, making it impossible for the defenders to add more structures for themselves. So yeah, a cap is not a good idea in the sandbox, and it's gonna be pretty interesting to see actually what CCP plans to do with the structures to keep them I think more popular than definitely bosses, but also potentially outposts in Nullsec and things like that, and at the same time make it less cancerous to try and take on one of these structures, which I think is not about their defensive capabilities, but more about the time zone tanking and the extremely long period of time with several deployments that always needs to be done if you're going to try and tackle one of those structures. So let's go take a look at the next system. Not finding much anymore at this point. I think that there might be lots of competition out there. But yeah, those were some topics around EVE Online at the moment that I think are pretty hot and pretty important as well. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out, especially for dev blogs, and as I've said in EVE Talk as well, for in-game stories, potentially live events. I know now that there has been a live event with actual actors in the game, where CCP devs play actors, say stuff in local, and actually, you know, try to tell a story or a continuation of the story. So that's one of my favorite secret aspects in EVE Online, also something that you can very easily do solo. And I am now also in the live events channel, where usually if something happens, they're amongst the first to notice and to let everyone know what's happening where. And yeah, let's just do a little bit more exploration here. I've got like a couple more jumps to do until I'm back home, so we'll see if we can find anything good there. That's 3 signatures. We can quickly take a look. Potentially that bottom one looks like it's a little larger than the others, so that could maybe be a good one. So that combat site I'll quickly check, but that's going to be absolutely nothing. And then I think that SLL potentially has the right circumference to be a good site. So let's take a look at that. So LVN is... I didn't spot it. Oh, because I'm way too low, of course. And then you are there. Okay. And that's a wormhole. UNR, so we're not going to check on that right now. Yeah, Haunted Yard as expected. Although Haunted Yard is not always that easy to scan down, so this actually gives me decent hope. 16 in local though, that is a lot. Lady, if I look at Dotlan, it's not. I don't think it's a highway system, so this is definitely a lot of people, and it's just another wormhole. Okay, we can still go to Udala, which unfortunately is a highway system. Lots of people pass through there when they go to Amar. So is Esesama. So we'll check Udala, Esesama, and Idal, see if there's anything good. And otherwise, yeah, that's going to be it. It's already made some good money here on a Succubus blueprint. I think, let's see. Can I see what kind of... the input is like 400,000 ISK, and then the output is like 48 million ISK, so that is definitely a pretty nice drop, even for if it's all that that I'll end up finding on the evening. And using the auto jackdaw for that, very relaxing experience, which is what I'm looking for at the moment, having that little bit of a lower energy threshold. So what's happening here? Just a refuge and then nothing, so we can check it out in Esesama if there's anything good there. And in Italy it was basically empty. So let's check it out. Love the ship. By the way, guys, I am always looking for interesting fits as well. So someone else just mentioned in the comments that they like a drone dragoon or something like that. I'm hoping that he sends me the fit. But if you yourself have some interesting, like especially exploration ships, I absolutely love to do exploration, and I would love to see other options when it comes to exploration. Like this jackdaw. This jackdaw is actually from someone else, and you can always, if you want to take a look at some of the fits that I'm using, biography, there you can find it's this jackdaw right here that I'm flying at the moment. So yeah, always welcome to show me something else to experiment with. Let's take a look at these 2 signatures, but that's tiny and that's also tiny, so this is just going to be like 2 lookouts or something like that, I suspect. Not gonna be too great. Let's see. Daira. 9 people in local. That's not so many. Let's see what we got here. Not much. How? That's interesting. I thought that we'd be like at 50% or more by now, but being decently close to it and yet tricky to find does make it potentially interesting. And I'm at the right height as well. Definitely strange. As a Bustard and a Crane come through here, you can see that these are highway systems. All those people to and from Amar do make for very busy gates here, and oftentimes, you know, you've got other people as well traveling through here, taking a quick look at the signature, so it's always a bit trickier to find something in a system like this. But that's a wormhole, and this is a relic site, so nothing too good. Maybe we'll add a couple more systems. I know that Chunka is usually actually a really good system when it comes to the combat signatures for some reason, especially 4 out of 10s, which I would really like to test in this auto jackdaw. Could be there, so let's take a look if anything new is there. Then we'll drop to Tashinas as well. Really a corner system that's often not too busy, and then Dira will get home. So a little extra tour here for the exploration, but then I think that's going to be it. Decently long warp. Whoa, 2 new signatures. Alright, so 2 wormholes and 2 others. Let's see what they are. That's a decently big one as well. Okay, and then this one, a little bit smaller, but also definitely of a good size, probably close to that gate. Okay, alright, definitely worth taking a look at that. Either I'm really good because I'm so close to it, or this is not something too good. Let's take a look. That's yet another wormhole, alright. And then this one is actually close to this gate, it seems. Let's do that. Ah, I'm going to be too high as well. Ah. Come on, combat site. Only 5 people in local. We have to go lower though. Let's take a look. Ah, it's a relic site. God damn it. Next up, Tashinas, and there we go. Get some mail in the meantime as well. I won't open those on screen, but yeah, I do get some more messages from time to time now. Lots of people that enjoy the content, which is really nice. I enjoy making the videos, so all your support is greatly appreciated. Absolutely love it when you guys enjoy the content and all the discussions. So really great. Keep in mind, it's still a hobby. It's something that I do because I enjoy doing it. I would never feel or want to feel pressured into making videos, making certain content or anything like that. I really want to keep it to whatever I want to do, both as an EVE Online player, right? I want to stay independent. I want to be able to do my own stuff. And so I actually got an invitation to a nullsec alliance as well. But at the moment, I'm like, no, I don't really want to take that step. I feel like I want to stay independent, be able to do my own stuff on my own time, which in the right alliance you can do as well. But this way I don't feel obligated to do anything extra than what I'm already doing. And in a nullsec alliance, to be honest, if I would take that step, that would be when I come to a place where I say, you know what, I really want to focus on EVE Online for the next couple of months at least, maybe even the next like 6 months to a year. It's gonna be nullsec. I'm gonna join an alliance and I'm actually going to give it everything I've got. Join the fleets, join the voice chat, really be active, try to get everything out of that that I can. But at the moment, that's just really not what I'm looking for. So got one more new signature here, and then potentially we'll see what's still left in the Tal. But yeah, a little bit disappointed. You can see the advantage though of doing like a second pass here. Junka, we know what was there. Here again as well, a wormhole, rogue drone asteroid, don't have to redo these signatures. It has sped things up a little bit, but I think that if there's a lot of competition in the region, it's also made it a little bit trickier to actually find something. Although this is a combat site, I think it's already at 40% second conversion, and we were way too low, or second circumference of the probe, so it's probably gonna be another bad one. Yeah, it's not a rogue drone asteroids infestation, so our last hope is our home system. And again, that public service announcement, right? If you go out there to mine or you play on your own, you know, check this. Now we know in Dira, in this very system, there is actually a forward operating base, and you could actually warp to that. You're already warping No, no, not to this location. I hope not. Yeah, you can warp directly to there, but also know that there are dangerous NPCs floating around here that could actually give you some trouble. So maybe we'll go in here. If cannot do that while warping, well, I would just like to take the gates. Thank you. And that is something at some point that I might want to check out, a forward operating base, but I also know that this is group content, and so I'll want to find a group that is maybe like actively hunting them or something like that, and see if I can get in on that action to bring you guys a forward operating base. Same with Resource Wars. I just have to find out how I want to do that, and because I need other players to help me with it, but at the moment, especially when I come home from work, I don't really always have the energy to set all of that up. I'd rather do what I'm doing right now. Quick run of exploration around the region. If I feel like I've got some more time, I can just do a second run, which takes a lot less time. And just running stuff in the auto jackdaw, hoping, to be honest, for a 4 out of 10, so that I can actually test the auto jackdaw with the auto missiles in there. I'm actually pretty interesting to see how that would work out. I don't think I want to just use the auto missiles then, because those cruisers will have lots of HP, but that's still something I think that I need to test to see how this ship actually performs in the 4 out of 10 against the Sansha. Anyways, we've done our round. I'm heading back to the Astros. I'm going to safely deposit this blueprint copy. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.